Hi beautiful people! Welcome back to my channel where we discover the Polish language together, and there's a variety of forms in which we do so by some colloquial videos, which is one of these videos. We also check out the grammar together that sometimes can be a little bit difficult in Polish language, but I always make it easier for you. And you'll also find some audio-visual exercise where you practice your listening in the form of my travel vlogs. But today it's the colloquial language video, so we will explore 5 different ways of how to respond to the question, how are you? And we will be responding not when you are feeling this great and amazing self, but rather when not everything is cool, but you don't really want to get into the details. So we will see each other after the intro. So I have my copy with me and I am ready to give you those 5 unusual ways of how you can respond to the question, how are you? But a quick recap. How do we actually ask the question, how are you in Polish? So the most famous way that any foreign person gets to know first is jak się masz? Jak się masz? But I want to get into the details of the other ways because I have a separate video on that topic, so make sure to check it out. And right now we will answer the questions to the how are you question. The first way you will answer is po staremu. Po staremu. Po staremu. And what does po staremu mean? When we think about the English equivalent, we will say, as always, as usual, and that's the meaning of it. Po staremu, it's as always, nothing new, everything is as always, basically. But when you think about the literal translation of this, actually, the interesting part is what does it mean? It's by the old one. I know, it's like, what are we saying? By the old one? That's the literal translation of it, but we don't think about this literal translation when we answer using this expression. What we think about is as always. So, po staremu, po staremu. Number 2 is tak jak zawsze, tak jak zawsze, tak jak zawsze. And tak jak zawsze, again, it means as always. So we have like a second translation, which is the same, to a second expression that is different, and it's completely different in the way it sounds. So you can literally kind of use whichever one is easier for you to pronounce, perhaps. Tak jak zawsze. The interesting thing about it is what those 3 little words mean, because they mean the exactly same thing in the English equivalent. So when you translate it literally, it actually means as always. So we know that the word tak, I assume you do know, means yes in Polish. So tak, whereas the word jak usually means how. So we have the word tak, jak, yes, how, and then we have the word zawsze, always. But when you have the 2 words tak, jak beside each other, when we think of them together, it actually changes to as. So that's the interesting thing. When we use them together, usually they change in its meaning to as in English. So when we think of it, it's as always, but we can say as in variety of forms. Prepositions and all those things. So yeah, tak jak is as and zawsze is always. Tak jak zawsze, as always. Number 3, jakoś leci. Jakoś leci. Jakoś leci. And what does jakoś leci mean? It means in its English equivalent, not bad, how are you? Not bad. Jakoś leci. But when we think of the translation of literal translation, it doesn't actually translate to not bad. It would be a different way of saying it. Jakoś leci, when translated literally, it is somehow it goes. Because somehow my life, it goes, it continues to go, evolve, step by step, you know? So jakoś leci, my life is somehow going forward, basically, is what we're saying with this expression. It doesn't indicate that you're extremely sad, but you know, jakoś leci means maybe that you have some obstacles that you're facing in daily life, but maybe nothing like really, really bad. You know, no one has passed away, or you haven't lost anything equivalent, like important. Yeah, it indicates that maybe, you know, it could have been better, but somehow life moves forward. So this is the meaning of jakoś leci. And number 4 is powoli do przodu. Powoli do przodu. Powoli do przodu. And what is the translation of powoli do przodu? Well, powoli do przodu means slowly forward. That's literally the translation, meaning that I know my life is slowly moving forward. Maybe it's not the most amazing day of my life, but you know, I'm moving forward, and in general, in the big picture, my life is slowly moving forward. So I'm not great, but I'm also not really, really bad, you know? So that's how you can say, you know, perhaps you have some, I don't know, work problems, but you know, you move forward, you know, you survive them. So slowly moving forward is the translation of this phrase, which in Polish sounds as powoli do przodu, meaning that your life is slowly moving forward. Powoli do przodu. And number 5, the last one, is bywało lepiej. Bywało lepiej. Bywało lepiej. And out of this whole list that we've looked at, bywało lepiej is the one that indicates to your speaker that something's going on, you know? And it really doesn't indicate whether it's extremely bad, because it could be, but it could be something meaningless too. Usually when someone answers bywało lepiej, we try to get a bit more information depending on our level of a friendship with them or their lack thereof. But you know, sometimes they might reject and they just say, it's nothing, you know, nic takiego, it's nothing. But sometimes maybe they'll give you more details, because in Poland we don't throw ourselves with our life problems at you, even if you're our friend, unless you're extremely, like, you know, BFF, best friends for life. So we might want to talk about it, but before we do, we might maybe kind of indicate in the conversation that, you know, we have problems. Maybe you want to ask us about a bit more. And bywało lepiej would be one of those answers that gives kind of the permission to the second person, to the other person, to ask what's up, you know, let me know if you want to talk about it. So what does bywało lepiej mean, actually? So just like in English, you'd say, it's been better. You know, been better. You don't even say it's been better. In English, you just answer been better, you know? That's the translation of it. So the thing is that bywało is the third person singular. It's just, you know, we are not indicating what was better, lepiej, better. Whether it was me, whether it was my mom, work, my cat, in general picture, it's been better, yeah? So bywało lepiej. And that's everything that I had prepared for you guys. It's a list of 5 different ways to answer the question of jak się masz, how are you, when you're not extremely great, but you don't want to, you know, indicate just, you know, the simple fine or okay. You want to give a bit more depth to your answer. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out my Instagram channel as well. Give me a like, because that helps the algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!